Grace and peace be yours on this day. And welcome to Augsburg University Chapel. My name is Justin Lindares, and I serve as one of the university pastors here, and it is my delight to welcome you. Today we continue with day 3 of our 5-day chapel series in partnership with the Augsburg Music Department. We welcome back members of Fifth House Ensemble via Zoom, Alessandro and Harin. They are part of a Chicago-based chamber music ensemble in a semester-long residency here at Augsburg, focusing on community and co-creation. This engagement is supported by the Arts Midwest Touring Fund, a program of Arts Midwest that is funded by the National Endowment for the Arts, with additional contributions from Minnesota State Arts Board and the Crane Group. These 5 deep listening sessions are part of Fifth House Ensemble's work with our community as they engage us today in mindfulness rooted in communal music making. If you are joining us for the first time during these deep listening sessions, worry not. Alessandro and Harin will again invite us and guide us into this profound yet simple experience together. A reminder that our next chapel service is Thursday at 11:30 a.m. and we will conclude the series with Fifth House on Friday at 10:40 a.m. Welcome to those who are here in Hoverston Chapel in person, and for all who have joined us on Zoom as we foster beloved community together, listening deeply to one another and to the world around us as we seek to create melodies that sing of justice and peace and hope and healing for this world.
Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. My name is Harin Koshak. I'm the cellist of Fifth House Ensemble. Joining me is Alessandro Garcia Montoya, our clarinetist, and we are going to be exploring some beautiful parts of Pauline Oliveros' deep listening musical mindfulness practice today. Today is really going to be about our beautiful world that we inhabit and our space in it. So we're actually going to start with ourselves to begin with. And if you're comfortable, you're welcome to stand. And I'd love to see folks off camera, if at all possible. The more folks that are off camera today as we get into this particular exercise, the more fun we will have. I'm sorry, on camera. The more folks we have on camera, I want you to start by considering, just take a couple deep breaths. And I want you to consider that every movement that you make originates from your joints. That we've been exquisitely engineered with many, many, many joints in our bodies that work together, that work individually. And what we'd like to think about as we take some breaths is just originating a single movement from any joint of your choice. Anywhere in your body that you feel the need to move. And as you move that joint, you may find that other joints respond. And as you consider those movements and allow each joint to respond to the others, maybe they're large joints. Maybe they're teeny tiny minuscule ones in your fingers. Maybe they're in your neck or your knees. I want you to also think about the fact that your body is made up of 70% water. And isn't that amazing? And so essentially, you could say that our bodies are comprised of joints and juice. And a few other things. But for right now, we're going to put our focus on the way that our joints and juice allow us to move. And Alessandro is going to accompany us with a beautiful piece called Hands by Casey Weiland. Now, if you've had a chance to move some of your larger body parts, you can feel free to come closer to your screen. And think about the movements in your hands. And look at your hands on the screen. You can use your whole Zoom box and fill it with your hands and your fingers. And feel free to let the music inspire your movements. Now feel free to look at your actual hands instead of looking at them on the screen. It's kind of a funny feeling. And now feel free to look at some of the other folks as they're moving. And you're welcome to copy a movement that you see on the screen. You're welcome to vary the movement you see on the screen. Or you're welcome to do something completely different from anything you see someone else doing. And realize that as we're doing this, we're creating a ballet of hands and fingers, comprised of joints and juices. And we're all similar in that way, and we're also deeply and profoundly individual and creative. Thank you. And Alessandro is going to lead us into some larger bodies of water and some movements outside of ourselves.
Okay, thank you, Hareen, so much for this activity. I'll try to paste some information here into the chat. I'm gonna email this to you, Hareen, see if you can help me with this. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna continue on this journey, and actually, we connect a lot with nature. Nature is a source of inspiration, and we love to have this connection. The next activity is actually gonna be a rainforest improvisation. Let's call it like that. And I'm gonna ask you to please feel free to improvise with me. And I'm going to explain a few musical things that we can do. First, a short note. You can use your lips, your voice to create the sounds or whistles or things that you might encounter at your place. A grace note is a very fast two notes very close together, one step. A trill, a tremolo is a bigger interval. The sound of wind, all of the ones of you who have instruments, please feel free to use them. And rain would be key clicks. And again, you don't need a musical instrument per se, but you need anything to make that particular sound, your voice or an object. I'm gonna share the sound. And then we're gonna do a beautiful piece, a text score by Pauline de Oliveros. And one second. Listen deeply to this forest and the layers of sound that you're able to distinguish. Begin the meditation by observing your own breath as you become aware of sounds from the environment. Gradually begin to reinforce the pitch of the sound source. Reinforce either vocally, mentally, or with an instrument. If you lose touch with the source, wait quietly for another. Reinforce means to strengthen or sustain. If the pitch of the sound source is out of your range, then reinforce it mentally. Please feel free to unmute. We're gonna create together sounds of nature. Thank you very much for joining me in this improvisation. I know we could go probably for a few more hours improvising. Thank you for sharing your creativity and for this connection with nature, with our world. And with this, I pass it to Pastor and for the benediction.
Thank you, Alessandro and Hareen, for again taking us into that deep listening. And so, an adapted meditative blessing from Psalm 42. Be still and know the presence of the sacred. Be still and know presence. Be still and know. Be still. Be. Go in peace. Go in stillness. Amen.